What's going on with it? Happy New Year's to you, family. Appreciate seeing all y'all today. Happy New Year's to y'all. Oh man, I just want to elaborate on some things. You know, we got Tesla making a recall. I don't like to say it, but I think I will say it. I told you we ain't ready for that autonomous vehicle stuff yet. I told y'all I don't like electric cars. I don't like all that autonomous stuff. That stuff ain't a good thing. Too smart. But anyway, I had a great time. How was y'all New Year's? I've been out here. I'm in California still, enjoying myself. Living that best automotive life, having fun with my car people. You know what I'm saying? We had thousands of lowriders across the state of California for the New Year's Day. You know, you gotta make your appointment to go see Tesla. Did you get your letter in the mail? They saying everybody with a Tesla need to come see them. I'm sorry about that for you investors in the stock market of Tesla. I ain't never trusted them either. I never liked that whole thing because I'm in situations where I'm a car guy. I build cars. You know what I'm saying? I'm a seasoned car builder. So I know what technology can and can't do. And if they could have did better with that, I would have been shocked. But dealing with situations where a car has to decide, do it save itself, or do it kill the whole family? Or well, let me think about it. Does it kill if the brakes go out on a car, on an autonomous truck? You know what I'm saying, or on an 18-wheeler, and it's going downhill and it's going to plow into a car with a family in there, or do it go over the side of the freeway? You know what I'm saying? The autonomous vehicles ain't really designed to leave off the road. So most likely it's gonna plow into the back of the people. So it's things like that where you gotta make when you as a driver, you have to make a decision to say, are you gonna kill other people because your brakes went out? Or are you gonna take your own life and fly off the side of the mountain just so you won't plow into a bunch of people? So it's things like that automated systems ain't prepared to handle in 2.2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? A half a second. It's things like that can get real weird. But yeah. So anyway, I was out there with my lowrider family. Y'all know I've been doing car shows, uh, New Year's days, all types of stuff, everything automotive. So I wanted to talk about that. Y'all know I even created a program on my website to where I got Clapstar, I got courses, automotive courses on my website, tjlofton.com. If y'all ain't already, I got it pinned up on my Instagram. I think companies deploy new technology sometimes without fully doing the research and developing it behind to laundry a sturdy product. Man, you are absolutely right. What got me is a generator is powered by fossil fuels. Exactly. Man, it's like they saw an opportunity to make money off of American person who said a person who said he would only let that he would make his cars in America and create thousands of jobs. So anybody that's willing to do that, they're going to push their product through. Especially if the right person name is involved, like Trump benefited greatly off of Tesla. He gave him a lot of money during his presidency. But just the fact that he said he's willing to put gigafactories here in America and build cars all over the country and primarily employ people that don't look like me. Oh, he was in. He was in because that's why the automotive industry left America in the first place because American companies, Ford, Chrysler, Chevrolet, Dodge, which is Dodge Chrysler, they both all of them would hire people straight out of high school. Straight out of high school, they would hire people with no problem. They would be straight out of high school, walk straight to Ford and get a job. black or white. They didn't care because they needed help. They needed help very bad. You know what I'm saying? So they would hire people, but eventually you had so many, you know, people that look like me, families, original people, families that were doing so well. You know, they were paying to put their children through college and stuff. They didn't need no student loans. They didn't need no debt. They didn't need, nobody wanted to go to college. They didn't need to go to college back in those days because they were going straight to the factory and going straight to work. And they was making 60,000 a year back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Because they really needed help. So those big three, they had to pay people to show up. They had to pay you to make sure you was going to come to work. They gave you just enough that you can live a wonderful life. And America was like, nope, they don't want black people living well, having a great life. So they turned around and said, send all those factories overseas and remove those. And then they start pushing the prison industry to turn around, make sure other folks was employed and make sure that they locked up these folks. You know, remove all the jobs, send them overseas. Now the black folks that walk straight into the factories, they can't do that no more. Their children couldn't do that no more like their fathers did. Their fathers walked them right into the factory, said, hey, this is my son, this is my daughter, she and he need a job. They're hired. Your dad's a great worker, your mom's a great worker, you're hired. Now they removed that. They removed all the good jobs, and to prove that they took all the jobs, they turned around and came up with college. So you got to pay a whole bunch of money to get hopefully get a job. They removed that flow of people that was ready to go into the workplace, and they made them take off 4 years to go get a so-called education so that they can turn around and go to the same factory and ask for a job. And the factories eventually said that ain't working for them. It took them years before they said, you know what, I don't like playing these games. That stuff ain't never worked for us anyway. Can I get some likes and some shares, y'all? Can y'all share this video? Can y'all please share this video? You know, so y'all got to understand the world. You know, the Industrial Revolution was thwarted, was sent overseas purely based on the fact that there were too many people of color, black people, African Americans, that will walk right into the automotive dealership and get a job. Not dealership, automotive factories and get a job. So they wanted to stop that. Come on, TikTok, Instagram, can I get some lives? Can I get some shares? Let everybody know. You know, you got your automotive guru on the phone here, on the live here talking. You know, and I'm just talking about what's going on. You know, it's like I'm one of the biggest car builders in history. I've done so much. You know what I'm saying? I've changed the whole world around. It's hard to talk about yourself, but sometimes you got to tell people who you are, whether they believe you or not. I'd rather you guys just research me and see for yourself. But my accomplishments ain't really been put out there because I would have to do that. Other people not going to recognize me for the most part. I think I just started getting, let me rephrase that. I just started getting awards last year. Last year, I probably got 5 awards for my accomplishments because I never told people who I was, what I did. And when they found out who I was and what I did, then they started giving me awards because they said nobody's done that before. They were like, wow. So now that opened the door up for other people to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we've done. You know, so we got to start paying attention to to the automotive industry, which is why I got ahead of the game and started creating these courses to bring us up to speed on some of this automotive. So now y'all always like, TJ, why are you always talking about lowriders and cars and stuff? Because that's the biggest industry that we as a people have that we can walk straight out of school today and benefit from. Let me say that again. The automotive industry is the biggest industry that we as a people can become wealthy in and walk right out of junior high school or while we're in high school, and we can benefit from it, and you can end up a millionaire before you graduate regular high school. Did y'all get that? That's facts. But that's why they don't talk about it to us. That's why I'm the only one who was on tour talking about the automotive industry. So that's why I do a lot of stuff, but I don't never show it. But lately, for the last 2 months, I came to California and I said I'm gonna show the day in the life of TJ. What I be doing, the places I be going, the things I be doing. I'm gonna talk about it because I need y'all to really pay attention. It's not about going to get no good job at Tesla. It's not about trying to go get a diversity. Oh, I'm a diversity hire. I'm the first black person Google hired. You know what I'm saying? That shit pisses me off when I hear that. You want to work? Y'all excuse my language. Y'all know I'll be getting a little emotional here, getting a little passionate is the proper word. But people be doing things because other people tell them that's what you should do. They're telling them that in masses. What we got to look at is things that don't work for us is always heavily promoted in our community. I'm going to say that again. Things that will not work is always heavily promoted in our community. Let's talk about work because somebody here is saying, well, my mom's a doctor and it worked for her. She's doing very well. She owns this, she owns that. He got this, my dad got that. Let's talk about that. Your dad is probably 70 years old, 60s, early 60s. They were able to buy houses for cheap. They were able to flip a house and go use some of the money to buy a bigger house. You know what I'm saying? Now that big house went from, they paid $300,000, now it's worth 1.8 million. You know what I'm saying? But these young people nowadays, they cannot come out of college and expect to buy a house at no 785. Not with a job that's gonna pay them $60,000-$70,000. That don't work. So the days of that is over. It's over. You got doctors that are homeless, y'all. You got doctors that are homeless. You got people graduating from college that they did everything right, and it ain't working for them because they can't afford to buy a house. If you don't own a house, a person's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? This is why I teach all types of classes. I got automotive classes, real estate classes. I've been saying this stuff since day one. But anyway, getting back to my point, the automotive industry is the only industry right now that we have that we can control, that we can reap benefits and become very successful and wealthy. You can hang with me and learn from me, and I can teach you the game, and then I can walk you through a car show and introduce you to all these people that I know. And if I tell them I trained you and he knows or she knows everything I know, then guess what? You're going to be plugged right on in. You're going to have people calling you right away. Just like, that's why I said, I don't normally show people everything I do. But since I've been on the West Coast, I've been showing y'all the cars because I feel like it's necessary. So I'm walking through all these car shows. I'm at the SEMA show, an all-white show. 99.9% white people in the room. I'm one of the very few black people or African American or indigenous or melanated people that's in there. Whichever y'all choose to prefer. Y'all know I got a whole variety of people that follow me. So to keep it up, just to let y'all know, trying to make everybody happy, I say a bunch of different names to talk about people that look like me. I done forgot my point now. But anyway, I was at the SEMA show, and white people know who I am. White people who know who I am, and other white people, you tell them the name of my business, they know the name of my business. You know why? Because I was the only black person that ever did something like that. I was the biggest black automotive person in the game. I was the only one in the Lowrider magazine. Why am I sitting here telling y'all that? Because I'm a coach. I teach what I know. We got to get ourselves into a situation where we realize who has value and who does not have value. When people want a job, they go to college and learn how to get a degree so that they can go play the game and tell them they got their piece of paper. So now they want to get hired and expect to make this certain amount of money. Most of the time, that ain't going to work no more. But when people want to start a business and they want to be successful, they pay me to teach them. So I teach them, and then I say, hey, I'm going to be on the West Coast, and I'm going to go to the SEMA show. You need to walk through there, meet me there so I can plug you up with some of these manufacturing spots and help introduce you to some of these international people that I know. They be at this international show here in Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. Boom, my people meet me out there. I'm walk them through the show, teaching them the game. So being a coach ain't just about, oh, we're going to do some Zoom calls and I'm going to send you a stack of papers for you to study, and then boom, you're going to have the recipe to be successful. That ain't how that works. That ain't how that works. I'm going to do some Zoom calls. I'm going to talk to you on the phone. And most importantly, I'm going to invite you to places where I'll be. I'm going to introduce you to people that I know. Once they realize and hear that I taught you what I know, I'm highly respected. I'm one of the only people in the world that ever did the things that I've done. I started a lot of stuff. So it's like, this is why I came out to coach. And that's how you become successful. That's my story. That's what happened to me. I started building cars, but from learning from people, sitting in people's backyards. Gary May, Homer Walters, Terry Carter, you know what I'm saying? Ernest House, all these different amazing car builders. I sat down and listened to Robert Clausen, Zeus, learning about cars. Them are some of the baddest car builders in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I was a student of these guys. They walked me through. They held my hand. They introduced me to their friends. They endorsed me. They said, he's keep an eye on TJ. He gonna be something. We gonna help TJ get a shop over there. And they was like, oh man, I don't know. TJ grew up in that neighborhood. That ain't gonna work. No, it's gonna work because we all gonna support him and we're gonna let everybody know. So guess what? Everybody said, it was so many people endorsed me to open up my lowrider shop back in the days, that all of a sudden it worked. I did very well to the point now I'm traveling around the world, taking people with me saying, hey, I taught them this and they know that, and I'm co-signing for them, saying they're with me. Like my buddy here, he used to work for me. This is my guy. He used to work for me. Now he's the man, $1 million car builder, and I'm wearing his shirt. People like, oh, I didn't know you was partners with him. I didn't know. No, that's his. I'm just rocking his shirt. This is one of my students. He used to work for me. I taught him a lot of the game. You know what I'm saying? This is my guy. He actually endorsed me, matter of fact. So you think I'm not gonna wear a shirt? You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around. See, when you got people all the time, they will say, oh, I taught 52,000. I got 52,000 students. Yeah, 52,000 people took your online course. That don't mean you a good teacher. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's nothing worth bragging about, because I'm all about the follow-up. That's like saying, you know, if I'm sitting there talking to a college and they say, yeah, we're Morehouse, we're Howard University, and we've had 1 million students. I'm going to say, out of that million, how many of them are millionaires? They're going to look at me crazy. How many of them are employed? How many of them are, out of that 1 million graduates of y'all's, how many of them are homeowners? They can't answer none of them questions. They ain't going to want to try. No offense to my colleges, but like I said, we're going to raise the bar this year. 2024, we're going to raise the bar, because people need to know, what does the bar look like? I think most people don't know what the bar look like or where the bar at. But I tell you, you're tripping over it, that's for sure. When I listen to other people and their accomplishments and what other people's heroes, like this is our hero, and we worship this guy, and his picture is on the wall. I'll be like, he ain't created no jobs in our community. He ain't left a recipe. Now, don't get me wrong. The reason why I say things about people like that is because, or reason why I talk about people is because I have to verify a lot of things. Most people will pump up people, endorse people that ain't really did nothing for the community. Now, everybody plays their part. Everybody done something to help the community move forward somehow, some way. But people ain't bragging about them, y'all. People ain't telling us, making blanket statements saying they're the best that ever happened. They're the biggest and best that they've ever done this. Nobody's ever done that before them. And this is the best black man in history or something. This woman accomplished, the smartest black woman in history. And that shit really annoys me, because I be like, they ain't created no jobs in the community. They ain't did nothing that's sustainable to this day that's benefiting us. What have we benefited from them being here? I got the right to vote? What has voting got me? We got the right to vote. People lost their lives standing in line so you can vote today. What has voting got me? What if voting benefit? How has voting benefited us in the overall long run? You can't answer. I'll wait. I'll wait. I got the right to vote. I got the right to go get a job from people that don't like me. That shit annoys me, y'all, because I come from a multi-billion-dollar industry where I have watched people come from nothing and become multi-millionaires. Y'all heard what I said? Purely based on the fact that somebody just told them what the recipe was. Here's the recipe. Here's the recipe, and meet me here, meet me there. And I'm one of the guys that's done that. So when you tell me, and when you're bragging about your leader, when you're bragging about your hero, everybody's done some things that, like, I like Malcolm X. Malcolm X, he know how to talk. I like the way he talked. I was very impressed. Now, when I go somewhere and I want to talk about, send somebody to go represent me, I will, hey, yeah, Malcolm X, he was the person I would have wanted to send to represent me back in the days. Like, we fast forward up to 2024, who would I want to go speak on behalf of us right now? Probably Dr. Umar, but only after I've sat down with him and coached him and told him about where does black people's success lie? Where does black wealthy people's lie? You know what I'm saying? He made, he put them on the map, you know what I'm saying, and really did the most for them. And it made a lot of people see that part right there. He is a great speaker, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was a great speaker. Umar is a great speaker. I forget the brother that was gunned down in his room in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? That brother was he was a great speaker. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is we have to raise the bar on who we follow and who we believe in my opinion. I believe in people. All my leaders, all the people I look up to created jobs. Y'all heard what I said? All the people that I created, all the people that I look up to created jobs. I wanted to be like them, and I created jobs. Y'all heard what I said? My very first coach, my very first Jegna was Dr. Onion Palmer, and he owned a whole school. He owned a school that was paid for. He wasn't accepting money from the government, y'all. He wasn't waiting on no grant. He didn't take grants. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Onion Palmer turned around and started his own school, and he sought out all these business owners and these new up-and-coming rapper people, and he got on our heads and said, hey, I'm getting ready to build another school across the street, and I want to buy the land, and I need everybody to contribute. And it made sense. You're going to teach our children how to be leaders. You're going to teach our children, and I'm going to be able to come over there and talk to them and tell them about my business. How much do you need? How can I help you? Do I know any other people with money? Absolutely. I know a whole lot of people with money. That's how Marcus Garvey's school number 2 got built. That was the biggest school that was built during the riots, during the era of the riots. Marcus Garvey School in Los Angeles, California. The first Marcus Garvey School in America was built. Marcus Garvey was a great leader. Marcus Garvey is the only person that I look up to that's old like that. He created business owners. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey created business owners, which created jobs in our communities, which gave us hope that made me say, I can do that. I saw them do it. Now I know I can do it. Let me go ask them, can they help me? You know what I'm saying? Them the kind of people I like. So Marcus Garvey's my greatest hero that's passed away, that's old, that everybody should know of. That's my greatest hero of all time. But other than that, my local heroes are the Terry Carters, the Gary Mays, the Ernest Houses. All these guys had businesses. All these guys gave me a couple dollars, told me to learn something, inspired me to be great, said, TJ, if you learn how to work on these cars, you'll never be broke. I was like, wow, that's a statement. You may end up rich or something, TJ, because this market is getting booming, and I'm gonna teach you everything I know. And they endorse me. I remember Gary May would call me. I need you to do this. I need you to go to this show. And I'm gonna tell them you're coming. I'm like, oh snap, damn, that's a big ask. I'm like, you're gonna tell them I'm coming? You're Gary May. You're the man. You're like way up here. You believe in me that much that you're gonna tell them I'm coming and you want me to go there on your behalf? You want me to go to this car show on your behalf and you're calling ahead letting them know I'm coming to let me in? It didn't get no better than that. When I show up, Gary May's the most respected dude in lowriding. So it actually was a double-edged sword. It worked against me in one note, and it worked for me in a major note. How did it work against me for y'all negative people who looking for the negative stuff? When they found out I learned from Gary May, I would get disqualified. Oh, no. He's too good. Gary May was the greatest car builder of all time, and they didn't want no students of his coming in there because they knew they could not compete with Gary, so they definitely ain't going to be able to compete with TJ. So when I came in there and did all the things that I was supposed to do, that I was taught, when I was thinking how I was taught how to think, when I'm sitting there listening to Gary May talk and he telling me what he dreaming about, what he thinking about, what he want to do, where he see low riding going, and he telling me all this stuff from 9 years old all the way up to 22, man, I had the recipe. I already knew what my responsibilities was. Now here I am with this lowrider shop at 20, 22 years old, and now he kicked me out. I'm on my own now, and hey, you need me, call me. You know what I'm saying? I got to do my own thing. Yeah, I can't come sit in your garage no more. No, you got to do your own thing. Man, he telling everybody about me. Gary sent me. Gary sent me. Gary sent me. Gary told me, come, you can do it. Gary said you could do it. I'm like, Gary, damn, Gary. Gary's sending me all kind of business. He's stretching me, making me reach higher and higher. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, because I come from greatness, y'all. I'm looking at my coach. Name was Gary May. He's one of the greatest that ever did it. My coach was Dr. Onion Palmer. He was one of the greatest that ever did it. He was the greatest person in education that I've ever known. And to this day, I'm still not seeing schools. Schools are just now trying to start that's on that level. They just now starting to use. Dr. Umar just now saying he going to open the school up and have Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass Academy. But Dr. Onion Palmer wrote the blueprint. No offense, Dr. Onion Palmer wrote the blueprint, so won't you go get the guidelines to the blueprint, to the black print? You know what I'm saying? It's over there. They got it. You want me to call ahead and get it from them so we can put that into the schools? What did I tell him? What did I tell Dr. Onion Palmer that he should teach? When they invited me up there, what did I tell them? I said, we got to put a whole lot of emphasis on patents, trademarks, and copyrights and intellectual properties because that's where I messed up. I'd be worth billions of dollars if I knew those things at a very young age. If I would have knew what a prenup was, I would be worth billions of dollars right now. But because I did not know what all of that stuff meant, I did not know how to protect that when you design something and you manufacture something that you're supposed to patent it, trademark it, copyright it, protect your intellectual property. You know what I'm saying? When you know that you're going to be successful in greatness, you're supposed to get a prenup. When you know that you're going to be successful and go off into greatness, you supposed to hurry up and get married. You ain't supposed to be out there messing with all them women, dropping babies everywhere because you're going to get caught up and you ain't going to never get your money. You know what I'm saying? I learned all that. Can y'all forward this video? Can y'all share the video? Give your brother some likes here if I'm saying anything that makes sense to y'all. But anyway, going back to the original, y'all know my mind be all over the place. We raising the bar this year. I'm one of the guys that did the most with the automotive industry, so I am globally known. I'm not saying that to brag to you. I'm saying that because I'm supposed to be speaking at colleges all over the world. I go to the SEMA show, white folks know me. White folks offering me jobs. White folks booking me to speak in front of schools. White folks booking me, asking me, do I want to work for them? Can I come? How much would I like to make? White folks asking me, can I come speak at their school? Japanese trying to pay me to fly to move to Japan and help them set up an infrastructure for classic cars. Black folks like, we don't need you. Black education is like, we're not interested in manufacturing. We're not interested in the automotive industry. We're not interested in becoming billionaires. We're not interested in creating millionaires. We're not interested in creating jobs in our communities from black people. We want to go work for other people. That shit is heartbreaking. People look at me like, white people and other people look at me be like, your own people not using you? Your people are not using you? My homeboy said, I was in the car show the other day. My homeboy said, they don't know who you are. As soon as he saw me, he looked around and said, they don't know who you are. They don't know who you are. He was like shocked that I was out there. He said, I'm like, he used to be he was under me, one of my partners. You know what I'm saying? He saw me doing what I was doing, and he feels like a lot of people feel like the whole world supposed to know who you are. But for me to walk into these car shows all this last couple months and just be blending in the room, hanging out, walking around by myself, chilling and relaxing, everybody, like, people don't even know who you are. And it kind of pisses them off. And it was like, if they knew who you were, you couldn't walk around like this. And that's why I said, I don't want to tell them either, because I like walking around like this. But at the same time, people need to know who I am, because they need to say, I can be just like him. I can manufacture my own stuff. I can start off in my mom's backyard, garage, driveway, carport, and learn how to work on cars or learn how to manufacture some kind of car part. You got people that say, I don't know nothing about cars. I don't know how to work on no car. But they got ideas. All you got to do is take a car part and say, oh, okay, I can recreate this and manufacture my own. You know what I'm saying? I can recreate this and manufacture my own and become a billionaire because you're selling 1 million of those a month. That's how it goes. A lot of people, we're taught that, the biggest thing you could be in life is to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and you'll become successful. You never hear them use wealthy in our community. Y'all ever notice that? Whenever they talking, in the education system, you never hear the word wealthy. You never hear about college graduates that became wealthy from having this education. No offense, y'all. But where I came from, and when I teach my people, all that comes to mind, I don't just teach you about how to make money. I teach you about how to protect the money, because I done been there and lost it. I done had it, lost it, got it again, and then been going through some fights to keep it. Because when you accomplish big things in this world, y'all, either you become dead or they turn around and start giving people a hard time. And that's what I've been dealing with. That's personally what I've been dealing with. I've been going through some stuff with my finances, because my stuff don't seem to work like everybody else's stuff. How about that? My stuff don't. Like right now, it says I have nobody on Instagram looking at me. But watch this. I'm finna send y'all a wave. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 people that I waved at. But by the time I hang this up, look at this, I got one person on there, 35. By the time I hang this up, it'll be like, oh, you had 60 people on your page. Well, why didn't it say it at the top like everybody else's page? Do y'all see, what does it say on the top of my page? How many people would say that y'all see that are on this live right now? I ain't gonna complain about it. I'm just letting y'all know it's more than one way to hold someone back. And to hold someone back in this economy is to mess with their social media, because that's what's growing people. But anyway, I'm supposed to be speaking at these schools, y'all, in mass numbers. There are so many HBCUs. There are so many PWIs with black student unions all around the world, y'all. All around the world. I should be the most paid speaker in the history of public speaking because of what I accomplished. Because of what I accomplished. Because of my background. You see what I'm saying, y'all? But yet, I told y'all Tesla wasn't going to work from day one. I didn't like Tesla. And Tesla was being born purely based on the fact that he's going to create jobs in America. And they're going to pass laws and force people to buy cars, force people to buy electric cars. But it was breaking down before the law gets passed. You know what I'm saying? They been hiding stuff. They've been telling y'all ain't nothing wrong with Tesla. Tesla's perfect. You can't get it was like the jab thing that everybody was told. They suppressed all this information and told you that this was the best thing to do. You take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did with the electric cars. Oh, this is the best thing. Everybody's saving money. Everybody loves it. They ain't putting out too much negative information about what's going on. They said there was over 1,000 accidents purely based on that driverless thing. There was over 1,000 accidents. I've been knowing about this thing since I don't know how long. That's why I've never really had anything positive to say, because I understand big corporations can hide stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter how many people died, they can hide it until it becomes too big, until it gets way out of control. Then they're gonna have to go do a recall. Then you're gonna hear stuff about, oh man, they're gonna go rogue and the stocks are gonna drop because of the recall. They can't afford the recall. Why is it that they can't afford the recall, but they can afford? They made billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, but now a little recall that's gonna cost them $40 billion. Oh, that's gonna really hurt, and that's a problem. Really? Really? It's all game, y'all. Entrepreneurship game. So what is my point for all of this? What is my point? That's probably I'm going to change it this year, and I'm gonna ask for y'all help. Y'all gonna hear me when I come on here. I'm gonna ask for y'all help. Call y'all schools. Call y'all. You alumni at a school. Call your school and let them know TJ Lofton is one of the biggest car builders that ever been here. Look me up, Google me, research me, and you will find out that I've been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my social media from the past 2 months, I done been to more car shows. I done been to so many car shows most of y'all ain't never heard of before. White car shows. People like, how did you know about that car show? Because I'm a car guy. I'm not just a lowrider guy. I'm a car guy. People didn't understand when I said I can work on, when I was, okay, let me give you a little history. I grew up restoring classic cars. You know what I'm saying? I grew up flipping Monte Carlos, Regals, and Cutlasses and stuff like that. But in matter of fact, and also converting old tow trucks from 1979s to 1990s, putting new front ends on them, putting updated electricity, air conditioning, all of that stuff in them, putting disc brakes on stuff. So fabricating stuff. Excuse me. Fabricating things, making things better in positions where we had to create things that did not exist to allow us to make things work that did not work. You see what I'm saying? We had to create things that did not exist in order to make things work, because we just created something that did not exist. Now, if someone would have said, TJ, when you create something that did not exist, you should patent it. So going back to where I was talking about earlier, most of our schools are being taught how to get a job. Most of our schools have language that only consists of a good job. They don't have language saying wealth. They don't have a wealth building conversation in our schools, and that is a problem. And if they do, it's not one that's going to produce it. It's one that's told that if you get this degree, that's going to align you with wealth, because they know the word wealth is becoming very common, and they know they ain't using it in the education system. So now they may lie and start using it, but no, they're not. It's not being taught the right way, because I've been all over the country or all around the world giving lectures, presentations, and dismantling language, bad language that ain't accurate, that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? You telling people that this degree is going to make you wealthy if you follow through and spend all this 200, 300, 400, 500,000, you're going to become wealthy just because you got the degree. That ain't true. That ain't true. Now, if you turn around and take that, get a little bit more knowledge and learn how to manufacture your own parts, then yeah, that'll be very true. If you use that kind of language, yes, that'll be true. But most of our people want to become a doctor because someone told them doctors are the most successful people in our community. From an employee mindset, yes, they are. But most people want to be a doctor, want to be an attorney, want to be an engineer. Me personally, I just want to come up with a new product that nobody got. Y'all heard what I said? Like I said, the person who made this pen and decided, hey, we should put a stylus for those new smartphones on the back of a pen. This person became a billionaire because people all around the world said, I need a pack of those. I need a good stylus. I need a good one of those. So you ain't got to think that big, y'all. You ain't got to think that big. All you got to do is turn around and have an idea that ain't nothing nobody's doing. Like somebody else came up with an idea to make some glasses. Like my homeboy got some smart glasses and they got a camera on them. So while we doing the panel discussion, he says, I'm videoing you. He's doing this. He's doing that. I don't know how many of y'all got them smart glasses. So he's videotaping me. And he told me, I'm taping you. Watch out. I'm like, what the hell you mean? All he did was touch his glasses. But then as I looked closely, I see his glasses had little bitty black dots on the edges of them. I said, that's a great idea. Now, whenever I talk to people, I got to look at them, make sure they ain't recording me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you ain't being set up, People will walk up to you and have them glasses on, and you get into a conversation and start flirting with a woman knowing you got a wife at home, and she got your ass on videotape. They done set you up and told some girl he's married, but go flirt with him because, his wife is really jealous. We can make him going through a divorce. So, boom. Girl walks up to you, start flirting with you, want to touch all on you. You thinking your wife at home. You good to go. She's not here. She don't know nobody over here. She don't even know I'm up here. Next thing you know, you all on videotape touching on the woman and hugging her and talking about you ain't married and yeah, you want to go to lunch because you live by yourself and all this old crap. Now you all caught red-handed. Ain't nothing you can do about it because somebody had a good idea. Billion-dollar industry. Billion-dollar industry. Coming up with $1 trillion industry. So that's why my world was so different. I never wanted to invest in no stock market because I always knew about entrepreneurship. I always knew about all I got to do was make a product. So I became the first person to make so many different things, y'all. I started the chrome plating, doing chrome plating on things that was never chrome plated. Check this out. I could have chrome plated suspension car parts for lowriders and patented to where nobody else could do that. Anybody selling chrome-plated suspension parts for these kind of cars got to pay me. Just like red bottom shoes. They patented. Nobody else can sell a red bottom shoe without going through this company over here. They locked the game in, y'all. It was like, wow. Wow, I could take something that somebody else made and I could patent that. And everybody on the planet is going to have to pay me to do that, even to use that, to make that. Even the people who made that part originally, they would want to come to me and say, hey, I know you're buying our parts and you're altering them, you're changing them, and you're patenting it, but we'd like to buy you out. I'd be like, nope. I'd be like, we can partner, but you ain't buying me out. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But I would start manufacturing my own car parts, and that's what I started doing. So I never wanted to invest in somebody else's company and make somebody else's community successful. I always wanted to make my community successful. You know what I mean? So I never really wanted to invest in Google and Facebook and Tesla and SpaceX and all of that kind of stuff. But I invested in my community. I've seen a whole lot of people become successful on my watch. Anyway, y'all, I'll be talking a lot. So y'all got any questions for me? Any thoughts, any ideas? Can I get some likes, some shares? IG, I got Instagram, what is it? TikTok, I got like one like, one heart, one happy face. Can I get some likes? I know we got a bunch of people on here. Some hearts? Can I get some hearts, y'all? Can I get some hearts? Am I saying anything that makes sense to anybody? Getting back to it, y'all. 24, we changing the bar. We raising the bar, y'all. We are raising the bar. And let me say something that y'all need, that y'all may not know. And I'm pretty sure I kind of like avoided it. I probably didn't bring it up because I'm so in my head be saying all kind. What be going through my mind and what be coming out of my mouth be two different things. Because I'll be like, you ain't supposed to be on here talking. You know what I'm saying? People like me don't never come out and talk about stuff because we don't want nobody to know who we are. That's always been my story. It's like my homeboy, everybody was like, man, people don't even know who you are. You need to tell them who you are. I'm like, I'll go stand in front of a small room and tell people, but I don't really go into what I did. I'll tell you guys lightly. But anyway, my whole point is what we got to do right now. The automotive industry is out. It's booming, y'all. They just legalized low cruising in California, y'all. They saw the explosion over 30 years ago of these black people building these cars. These blacks and these browns is building these cars, and they're creating financial wealth. They're creating things, they're selling it. They're the only exclusive distributors of products that they made. These people are creating products and they're the only ones that's selling them, and they're becoming successful. So they said, we're going to ban lowriding until we can take control of this thing. They're going to ban lowriding so we can take control of it and slow it down and pass some more laws. What's up, the man from Dina? Y'all was doing real good out there the other day. I was proud of y'all, man. That was pretty good stuff. I was like, man. But yeah, products, manufacturing things, what I'm saying? Creating jobs in our communities. This thing is getting big, and they banned they banned cruising. I'm sorry. They banned cruising, and now that they're getting in position, they've gotten in position, they just raised cruising. I'm sure you got a car coming out one day. Oh yeah, of course. I got some things in the pot, but I got some other things, responsible things I'm trying to do. You might loan me something. Let me hold on to one of yours in the meanwhile. You know what I'm saying? So I could be back on the scene again. But it's like people, it's about this education. Appreciate that. It's about this education. You know what I'm saying? That's why I came out, because I knew we needed some help. I watched painting go from $800-900 to now it's up to $40,000 to paint a car. And I knew back then when I came out, I said I got to do something to fix the problem, because lowriding gonna become too expensive, and one day people ain't gonna be able to afford it. Well, guess what? That day has came. You know what I'm saying? I'm traveling around, going to all these car shows over the last 2 months, and I'm looking at a certain group of people got all the classic cars, got all the 57 convertibles and 58 convertibles and the 59 convertibles, and I'm like, all my black people pulling up in Lincolns and Cutlasses and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow. It's like we didn't see this coming. People didn't see that. No offense to anybody, but I call it not recognizing what's going on. Just like back in the days when I started moving a lot of stuff to the side, because I knew, okay, we shipping a lot of cars overseas, but let me keep some of these 57s and these 58s over here, put them on ice and stuff, and chill on, and keep them out the way, because everything I got, somebody gonna come to me and say, let me buy that. I said, oh, it ain't for sale. What's it? Well, I know it's worth 100,000. Yeah, it's worth 100,000, but it ain't for sale. TJ, well, we'll give you 150 right now. Nope, still ain't for sale. Well, we're willing to give you 250 right now. And that shit get like, ooh, I know I can get another one of these. And that's what happened to me. So just because of me and my accomplishments. See, let me tell y'all how this works. When you become famous and you do something that was so amazing that people love, then they're going to turn around and say, just like people who own Gary May's cars. They take Gary May car and put it on archive. On everything, my club got 10 classic cars, super clean, because that you speaking the real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this. It's like them 57s is priceless. Them 58s is priceless, y'all. People be like, you gonna invest in some stock? I'm like, hell no. I got a few 57s on the background. I got some 58s and I got some 61s because them is pretty hot. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, they looking at me stupid. Them old rusty bucket cars you talking about in your backyard collecting rust, you got possums in them. I'm like, yep. I'm earning equity by they sitting there, with them sitting there. I'm gaining equity with them sitting there. People look at me crazy. TJ took his money and went and bought a piece of crap car. And then they realizing, I will never forget when my people was watching Barrett Jackson. They was watching Barrett Jackson. Matter of fact, the man from Dina, I remember your pops ran across my back cave, ran across one of my houses, right? And your pops was trying to not get to my house, but my whole house was gated off. It was my ranch house. It was sitting on 2.3 acres, and I had some rags way in the back. I had a bunch of cars way in the back behind my shop because I had a shop in my backyard. So I would keep some of my personal stuff over behind the shop. So your pops was sliding through my dirt community horse neighborhood, and he saw all them cars in the back. And then he was trying to go knock on the door, but he couldn't get to the door because I had gates up. My house was sitting on land, and I had fences all around my gate, all around my property, electric gates and stuff. And he couldn't get in there, so he was putting notes on the gate. And my neighbor had to come out with the shotgun one day, like, hey, what y'all doing over there? What did it say? Sounds about right. Haha, he stayed looking for cars. He ran across my house, and he didn't know it was my house. You know what I'm saying? My white neighbor had to tell me. She was like, TJ, I noticed there's a lot of guys be popping up by your house walking through that dirt field, Because the lot next door to me, I had to buy that lot, you know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't no house there. So I had to buy that because I was scared that they were starting to build big mansions in my neighborhood. And I said, somebody's going to come over here and buy this land. And then they're going to build a big old mansion, 7,000 square foot house. And then they're going to tell me he got too many cars in his backyard that he'd been having back there for all these years that ain't been bothering nobody. But now that he done got his big house over there and his swimming pool, and he looking over in my backyard like he got all them raggedy cars over there behind that building. They ain't even registered. So I was like, let me go and buy that lot. But I was going to put a fence up, but my neighbor started telling me, TJ, them cars must be worth some money. I said, why you say that? She said, you got a lot of people who be driving close to your house and leaving notes on your gate. I'm like, really? Like, I didn't even know. I don't even go that way. You know what I'm saying? I come through the side gate over here. You know what I'm saying? So I never noticed what was happening. But long story short, people really was after them cars. And I'm looking at only a certain amount of people identify what cars is worth money. Only a certain amount of people recognize what cars is worth money. Most people don't even know that cars are good investments. People tell me all the time, cars is not a good investment. They lose, they depreciate. I say, no, new cars depreciate. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I found myself having to educate people, travel around the world and talk about cars. People looking at me crazy, like, why are you over here talking about cars? I'm like, I'm sitting over here in all these different states, and I'm telling people, because they pushing, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but people was pushing this whole thing. The man from Dina, you want to come on here, go on the live and join your brother and talk cars with me, man? Send me that invite or something. Let me know if you want to join me on this car talk. People be telling me, they pushing the line, traveling around the world, telling people stocks, invest in Google and make them richer. Invest in these people, make them richer. But they asking me, TJ, what should we do with this money? Buy a bunch of rag 57s and 59s. Every time I find them, I need you to help me out so I can get them. Like, I'm running across whole junkyards with cars, and they talking about we want $5 million. And they looking at me like, what? You know what I'm saying? They telling me they talking about buy some gold. You know what I'm saying? Buy some Forex and all of that. I'm like, dude, look, we trying to buy, I found a rag 59, they want $30,000 for it. Now that same car, $100,000. Rusty, raggedy looking, need some work, need to be restored. I'm telling people, hey, these cars is worth money. All this, y'all coming together, raising all this money, buying this and buying that. These communities are coming together. Y'all need to be trying to come on around the country with me and help me find these cars so we could buy them. See, that's what people didn't realize. I would travel around the country. See, most of y'all looking at me. Let me tell y'all, I had a little game of what I was really doing. People saw me traveling around the country, hitting all these states. When I did that 26 states, people was like, TJ up to something. You know, I wasn't just out there speaking. I was out there looking for cars and I was looking for real estate. Y'all heard what I said? I was not out there just trying to go to people's schools and speak. That's why if you look me up, when I went to South Carolina, I was out there for 3 weeks. When I was in the South, I'd be out there for 2 weeks. When I was in New York, I was out there for a week. When I was in Philly, I was out there for a week. But my speaking engagement was only for one or 2 days. You know what I'm saying? But why was I doing it? Because I was riding around looking for cars. I was riding around going through meeting people in these junkyards. You know what I'm saying? And people were saying, man, he wants to sell that whole junkyard. He wants to sell his whole junkyard. You know what I'm saying? So I got partners that said, TJ, anything you find out of state that you can't afford, that you can't get, call me. I'll get it. I said, what's your budget? Because I ran across a junkyard one time and the guy wanted over $1 million for it, but he had everything in there that you dream of when you go to sleep at night. Everything you dream of when you go to a car show. So I told him, bet. So, you know, we would do that. You know, so I get out there, I start traveling, and I tell people, I said, look, I found the junkyard. The guy had like 300-400 cars, and a large amount of them was Chevys. What's up, Mr. Royal? Dr. Sabi. That's Dr. Sabi. You still got it on your IG, right? I sent it to you. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's what I was out there looking at them cars. But most importantly, when I was out there looking up them cars, people was looking at me like, dude, it's crazy. He just bought this old rusty looking car. This 56 Chevy was, man, that shit was messed up. Had a possum in the trunk. One time I found a car, it was in the middle of the swamp. It just sunk into the water, and this fins was sticking up out the water. Like some fins was sticking out the water. I'm like, that's a 57 fin sticking out the water. You know what I'm saying? Another one, that's a 59 sticking out the ground. And they said, okay, we about to go. I said, nah. We about to go rent some bulldozers and call up some white boys and have them come dig these cars out the mud for me. They like, TJ, you crazy as hell. You want us to drop you off and you're going to stay and have them dig this car out the mud for you? And you actually think you're going to sell that? Then when I sell it, when I pull it out, they take TJ crazy as hell. Then all of a sudden, when they found out what I sold it for, everything changed. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're at the location of the store. Oh, you talking about Simply Wholesome. Slauson and Overhill. That's Slauson and Overhill. That's Simply Wholesome, homie. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's why I start traveling around the country trying to teach people the game. Teach people what's going on. That's why I like going back to Elon Musk with these electric cars. I'm in small cities, y'all, all over America, and I'm seeing areas that don't even got a gas station. Nearest gas station is 100 miles. So you trying to tell me that electric cars, they had 100 years of, we've had 100 years of cars being made. They had 100 years plus of cars on the road of using gas, and you still got areas that don't have no gas stations? Y'all hear me what I'm saying? They still got areas, little small towns that don't have gas stations. And you want me to believe that everybody's gonna put up a charging station? Ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. This whole thing is designed to make y'all spend more money. Everybody I know, for the most part, who got an electric car, they rent a car when they getting ready to go out of town. The majority of the people I know got an electric car is going to rent a car when they get ready to go out of town. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got people, all they do is travel around the country and find cars. So people look at me like, how did I become a car parts manufacturer? Because I'm in an industry that's constantly growing. Now I look at my homies, they just threw a car show, and I was a part of that. They had a lot of people there, y'all. And I'm looking at that, I'm looking at low riding. I'm looking at this industry. It's huge. But we about to go from from cars, driving cars to flying cars. And most people don't even know about that. And here I am, the lowrider guy, telling y'all about it. Why? Because I'm invited to conferences that most people don't even know exist. And these people that's in there, they ain't got no degrees. None of the people in the room got no degree. But most of the people in the room is rich because they making some kind of door handle. They making putting a camera in the car or something. One guy made a rear view mirror that got a camera in it. Now he worth a lot of money. This for putting a camera in the rear view mirror? You know what I'm saying? That's black guys in Compton need this. Black people need this. When they get stopped by the cops, they want to record stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big Sam, what's going on, my brother? People want to know what's going on. They need that. So a man made a rear view mirror and put a camera in it, and now he's paid. You know what I'm saying? People look at me like, why ain't you into the stocks? I'm like, I would never mess with the stocks when I know people got ideas. Ideas is worth money. Let me tell y'all how stuff works. Let me give y'all a little game on how stuff works. I'll be the guy that came up with the idea to put the camera in the rearview mirror because one of my little homies got killed by the who's, during a traffic stop for whatever reason. They felt that, we thought he was reaching. And then you find out he wasn't reaching, But only thing save people like that is the camera to prove that this guy was racist that stopped him, So that thing is worth a lot of money in my community. That's worth a lot of money. So fast forward the story. If I created it, no, I don't even want to use myself for that example. If a person created it, he may look like me. And then all of a sudden he turns around and sells it to somebody else that don't look like me. And then he turns around and creates a company and starts marketing it and then asks you guys, do you want to invest? Y'all heard what I said. Do y'all want to invest and buy stock market in his booming company? And then all y'all run over there and invest in stocks in his company. And next thing you know, he making a $14 billion company all behind a little small idea that somebody had. No, a big idea that somebody in our community came up with and didn't know that they should have held on to it. But they had to go outside our community and get funding because people in our community don't know about that kind of stuff. Most people don't understand that. They only know give the money to the other people. Let them do it. Give the money to the other people. We look at, you got this idea talking about a camera because, there's only so many people get beat up by the police. You know what I'm saying? It's only so many people go through that. So no, I wouldn't want to give you $10,000 to invest in your camera thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give you $20,000 to invest in your idea because you came up with it. It's not worth any money because you came up with it. But as soon as it goes into somebody else's hand that don't look like us and he puts it out and he uses all this big language and says we're about to go public with it, y'all run over there with the money. You will spend $20,000 because you understand when a new when a new company is about to go public, there's money to be made. So boom, we'll pull money out the house and go over there with $50,000. But you didn't realize your little cousin had the idea to put the camera and all he needed was 10. And you could be a 50% equal owner of that company. So when the real money eventually comes in and you decide to take it public, for example, now they come in and say, hey, we know this is going to be great and it's $1 billion. We willing to put up $1 billion for y'all. And then you be sitting there looking stupid like, I fucked up. Excuse my language. He fucked up. He messed up. Excuse me. So this is why I start traveling the country speaking. And then at the same time, that's the same reason why so many people ain't interested in allowing me to speak because that ain't the language they want out there. Now, because I've been speaking about it, now you got other people starting to speak about it, but they watering it down. But anyway, getting back to my point, The automotive industry is booming. It's been booming. That's what made me go around the country years ago and start traveling, speaking about it. Let's talk about it. We got some wins, y'all. That's what I should have entitled this show. We got some wins. I gave a lecture at Compton College back in the days in the welding shop, and I talked about all the different levels of low riding to build a car. And then when I left, I came back. They invited me back. They said, TJ, they got paint classes now, sandblasting classes, auto body classes. They got fabrication classes. I was sitting there with tears in my eye, y'all. I could not. I just was like, wow, y'all did that. Y'all finally heard me. They did that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that was a huge win. What other wins we got? Centennial High School, the Compton School District said, TJ, come on over, join this team. We creating a team. We want to put together a team of exceptional people that come up out of Compton, and we want to help the Compton School District. I'm like, y'all talking the right language. I want to be able to come back and give back, so that's how I became an advisor to the Compton School District. Turned around, bought in Master P, Chico Brown, Dr. Dre. Now you got $10 million donated plus to the Compton School District. My whole automotive class got rehabbed, restored, and all state-of-the-art equipment came in. And now I get to go in there and sit there and talk automotive. Got one of my first viral videos on TikTok with that. 1.4 million views, 1.6 million views. Some of y'all, that ain't nothing. The girl who be twerking, she probably get that on the regular. You know what I'm saying? But for me, that was big. That was my first viral video that did that by my, you know what I'm saying? So long story short, that was a major win to be able to go to those schools and talk and be able to share and drop off cars and stuff and all that. Passing through, have a happy new year. Not a problem. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody on here, y'all. And I hope y'all have a happy new year. It's been amazing for me. I've got to see a lot of my homeboys and see people that I ain't seen in a long time. People was wondering what happened to TJ. Whatever happened? Where's TJ? Whatever happened to him? Is he all right? To find out what I'm doing, they was like, wow, dude is still here. You didn't change the game and up the level you didn't went to the next level, huh? You not building cars no more? You teaching cars? Yep, I got online courses. I give lectures at HBCUs and all kind of stuff. I'm not at enough HBCUs. There's so many of them, but I'm only speaking at 2 or 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, I'm excited, man, about the stuff that's going on. Entrepreneurship at an all-time high. Manufacturing at an all-time high. Automotive industry at an all-time high. We got to get on board with that, y'all. Check out my website, tjlofton.com. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, get a copy of my best-selling book, Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership, in my tjlofton.com website. If y'all want some coaching, y'all want some training, or if y'all want to book me to speak at your next event, Mark, what do you call it? What's the name? What's the brother name whose holiday coming up? Martin Luther King Day is coming up this month on the 15th. Y'all should book me to come speak at that event. You know what I'm saying? More than one of them. Black History Month is coming up. Y'all should be booking me, telling your schools, telling your alumni, we need to bring this brother out to come speak, because ain't nobody else did what I've done. Ain't nobody else done the things that I've done, got the accomplishments that I've accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to brag and none of that. I'm just saying these kids need to know that. They need to meet me. They need to shake my hand, because I go to these schools and they in there listening and hearing about people that have been dead for so many years. Like, that's the only hero black people ever had. Martin Luther King's the only hero black people ever had. And we get to hear about them, talk about them, and read books about them. And in the good schools, they may have his daughter or his son come out and talk about him. Y'all heard what I said? But what about the people, the living legends that's still here? You know what I'm saying? I'm the biggest automotive guy. I done did so much and still doing so much. dealing with rolling into education, trying to save these young kids so that they won't be going to jail because they deciding to sell drugs or do some snatch and grabs or do some home invasions because they know, well, the school teachers said that if you don't go to school and get a degree, a 4-year degree, you're going to fail in life. So they be thinking, well, that ain't going to work because they know they ain't going to college. So give them a pistol and let them go rob some people. But if you would have just simply told them, should consider learning how to weld, you may want to consider learning how to do plumbing or something because they're making big money. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to do that. So let me do it. Y'all should send me make a donation into my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? And let me go book the school and go in there and talk to them. Anytime y'all see me at a lot of these schools, I be paying for that myself out of my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? But now I got there's more of a need than I can afford out of my own pocket, y'all. But that's why they tell me to ask for sponsorship. But I always think out the book of Dr. Onion Palmer. He never asked for no sponsorship from outside, grants. He didn't ask for grants because people who get grants, they put limitations on the strings attached. Oh, no, we don't want you talking about this. We feel everybody needs to go to college. We want to book you, but we don't want you to come in here and talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't take money from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, I can't stand that, y'all. People are always talking about grants. You know what I'm saying? Before they do anything, they're going to work on trying to get grants, free money, handouts from people that don't want you to learn nothing real. Anyway, y'all, I be talking. Anybody got any questions for me? Any thoughts, any ideas? Y'all share this video. But my course, tjlofton.com, y'all. I got some online courses. I do consultations, I do trainings, I do coaching, I do public speaking. I'm out here in California still. So if y'all want me to come to you in your state, your city, your country, go to my website and book me, TJ Lofton. Go to my website and fill out an application to tell me where you want me to go, when you want me to be there, and how much would we charge you to do that. Because some people got a 3-day conference, some people got a 1-day conference, some people got a all-day 8-hour conference. They may want me to be there all day to answer questions and talk to people. I don't mind doing any of that. I'm just saying, go to my page. I'm in California currently for the 15th. You know what I'm saying? I'll be between here and Georgia. I'm still on the back burner for what we was talking about. But, man, I got work with you. Well, definitely let me know, y'all, because like I said, it's I remember telling people about, I don't like people thinking I'm trying to pressure them, but I do tell you, you only got a certain amount of time to do certain things. And like I told people when I was telling people to buy these cars, my car guys, they jump. When I say, hey man, I got some 57s, 58s, 59s, I got like 40 people will be over there with a bag of money, like, hey, let's do it. Hands down, no questions asked, because they know I know what I'm talking about. When I talk about these houses, I got people jump up and be there hands down because they know I know what I'm talking about still. But when it comes down to education, people like, nah, they got it. They already figured it out. College, my son went to college, and I'll be like, it just trips me out. I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all know I know what I'm talking about. You listen to everything I say, but as soon as I start talking about education, be like, we got that already. We cool. It's like we can't talking about education is like talking about church, talking about religion and politics and voting. It'd be like you better tread carefully. You may say the wrong thing and offend somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people say, TJ, I believe everything you said, except for that what you said about college. I believe everything you said, except for that what you said about politics and voting. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, so I try to leave certain topics alone, but when I see too many people jumping over the cliff, I have to ring the bell and say something. There's too many people jumping over the cliff because I told people a long time ago, I said, you got a certain amount of time to buy these houses before you can't afford to buy them no more. And once they can't afford to buy those houses, it's going to be a major problem. I told my car community, we got a certain amount of time to buy up all these cars because if we don't get those cars, by the time they get to a certain price, people are not gonna be able to buy those cars anymore. I said that years ago. When I first started shipping cars overseas, I told my people to get the 57s, the 59s, the AC cars, the tilt cars. What about the original all matching number cars? No, don't worry about them. We don't care about no numbers. You get the cars with no motor in them because we putting LS engines in them and all. That's gonna be, we gonna have that crack by then. And next thing you know, they started feeling me, and they're like, "Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that." You know what I'm saying? And people realized because they knew I knew what I was talking about. But now I'm talking about education, next level stuff. Hey man, you was the coach, man. You taught me that game on the side of the highway, man. My brother got that. Mr. Royal got me doing pinning comments and pinning stuff and posting and tagging and putting links and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you giving me that game. But the next game I need to learn, man, like you look at my page, it say I got 7 followers on here, Mr. Royal. You know what I'm saying? But yet I got about 60, 70 people watching me, but it tells you I got 7 people on here only. You know, and that's kind of high for me. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of high because normally it'd be 0. It'd be like, ain't nobody on there. You know what I'm saying? But it say 7 today for some reason. I guess it's a Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? So I need to figure out what am I doing? How can I bypass that? Whatever they got going to where they don't want to tell me how many people on my page actually. You know what I'm saying? Give me a call on that one later, Brother Royal. We'll talk about that. But anyway, I'm about to get off of here right now. Y'all go to my website, tjlofton.com, if y'all want to book me for Martin Luther King Day or for Black History Month or for anything. Y'all got a lot of things coming up at these schools, a lot of conferences, a lot of different things where y'all bringing out a lot of speakers. So y'all want to go in these schools and let them know that TJ needs to be speaking on these panels. Some of this money y'all finna pay these rappers or some of these people to come in there and talk about hypothetical things about what y'all should be doing. Y'all want to pay me to come in there and talk about facts. Y'all want to pay me to come in there and bring some of my car builder friends that owns patents and trademarks and copyrights and doing international business on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? People that create jobs in our communities. Them the people we need to be bringing in these schools. These are all my people. Appreciate that, Mr. Sam. All right, family, I'm about to get out of here. Y'all going to get a copy of that best-selling book, and don't forget to book me and put my name out and share the pages. Share this. Peace and love, family. Y'all have a great new year because it's going to be amazing.